No one likes music. I can hear you.
Yes, your OBS might have reset, and you have to.
Can you hear us? Can the audience hear us?
How about that? Can they hear me now? Great. Now I have to tell my shitty joke a second time and do my intro really crappy as well. All right, so look. Warhammer 40K, Rouge Trader. I'm out here selling makeup while the rest of the cast is fighting Necrons. That's how tonight's episode's going to be. This is episode 18 of this show. And, yeah, hopefully this is correctly working now. All right, audience has confirmed it's working. We can now move forward with intros. James, I want to start my intros to you by asking a question.
Okay.
You never got back to me after I sent you a message to send to Canon as Goneril. I just want to make sure that you received that part.
I did, and I figured that would be something that I would reply to in character.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. I also have a note here to ask you more about the harem list, because honestly, out of character, I'm so baffled by it. I think Nero's reaction is just going to be like, now, how can I get Pierre on this on the list? Like, I want to give my list to Pierre if possible. We need that air before we go into battle. He dies here, the game is over. All right, so that's my pre-intro to James's intro. James, let's do your intro.
Hello, and thank you, Arthur. I am James, Grimdark James. It's been a week. Played some BattleTech this week. Played some Nemesis one-roll engine yesterday. And other than that, it's been painting minis, living life, getting screwed by power level changes in the 40k meta this week. That's about it, really. I've not had a very busy week. I've been a homebody most of the time, looking after my children while my wife works and has a birthday.
Congratulations to your wife. Getting further ahead.
She's 1 year from being 40 now, so I think that she can no longer say she's in her mid-30s. She's now officially declared herself in her late 30s.
You say that right now?
I know, the door's closed and she's downstairs.
Good.
So,
yeah. That's dangerous.
This is her lament, not mine.
Okay.
So, yeah. I didn't just notice Dave's sex den. Look at that pink background.
Mm-hmm.
I had the cameras closed for a while. There you go. Wow.
It's my space stuff. No, this is more spacey. Let's go with this one.
I hear that Dave has unconventional desires.
Wow. Did I hear that there's going to be a Twilight remake?
I didn't hear.
No.
Don't joke about that.
Well, look.
I hope there is, and I hope it's worse. You know, like I hope they somehow fumble the ball a second time. That's what I want to see.
I'm about to out myself. I've never watched Twilight. I only know what's trickled down. It's not great.
The guy Robert Pattinson, is that his name? The actor. Anyway,
yeah. Robert Pattinson.
Wow, he certainly has gotten much better at acting since then.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. Like he cannot shed that stigma though. Like it's literally impossible for him to get rid of that movie. Like every time I see Robert Pattinson, no matter how serious the role, there's a new one coming out with Tom, the Spider-Man. I forget his fucking name.
Tom Holland.
Holland, yeah, and it's got Robert Pattinson in it as well, and a bunch of other fucking amazing actors. And it's like Tom Holland like murders some people and whatever. It's crazy. I forget the name of it now, but it's like a Netflix film.
Did you watch the trailer for Raised by Wolves?
No.
So this is a new Ridley Scott television series. It's got the main actor from Vikings in it. It's basically post-apocalyptic world, where effectively two two androids have been tasked with raising sort of like humanity again from the ruins of the old world as such, and it looks pretty good. Like it's definitely very Ridley Scott if you look at it, but it's probably worth checking out. I think it starts sometime in September.
Yeah, the
along
movie
with
I was
season 2.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for that one. The movie that I was talking about with Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland is called The Devil All the Time.
Okay.
It looks fucking super sick, and it's like based on like a really disturbing book as well, apparently. So I don't know, I'm kind of interested in reading that one.
I tell you what I did though. Yesterday I sat down with my kids and I watched the entire first series of Transformers War for Cybertron, this new computer animated one that went on to Netflix last month.
I still need to finish the first episode.
Yeah, it's quite nostalgic. You know, it's like a prequel to the original Generation 1 cartoon. You know, it's interesting the way they sort of show Optimus Prime as being a bit incompetent at the start.
Well, yeah, because the first scene he's in, the guy's like, I did the job, I want to be paid. And Optimus is like, we're fighting for freedom. You should join us. And he's like, no, pay me. And Optimus is like, freedom from contracts is another thing we're fighting for.
I actually, that's super weird because I heard that in a different context, that line you just said about like fighting. Like, that's super weird. Is that new? Is that brand new or something? Or
I mean, it's about a month old.
Yeah, but Optimus Prime saying they're fighting for freedom is like 20, 30, 40 years old.
Yeah.
I meant like not paying a mercenary after this.
Oh, that's basically just that's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got anything else, James?
No, that's it.
Okay. Dave, who do you have?
Hey, what up? So, you know, just doing the thing, selling the games and stuff. I don't know if I told you last time I was on here, but I was interviewed in a magazine for Kinky, and that's coming out in September, I think.
They say there's magazines for everything. You know, big titty puzzle game, I guess.
Is this a magazine that comes sealed in the newsagent? You got to actually buy it in a bag and then seal it back.
You have to leave it in a paper bag.
I wish it was something that it's not as large scale as that, but so basically it's like a digital subscription thing that they do for like specifically adult game developers and like adult media that is not with physical people, like real people. So it's mostly about like, you know, like digital videos and art and that sort of stuff to do with the adult media. And it's quite large. I don't know what his reader base is like, but you know, it's kind of nice to be publicized for that sort of stuff. So that's coming out in September. And you know, we're looking pretty good in terms of like a business now. So we're looking to start working on our second product and then finish our third product, I should say, and finishing up the second product. So we've got a lot of really cool stuff going on. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever.
As a game industry professional, and I guess also Arthur and Pondo as people with opinions, can I get your thoughts on the whole Epic Games versus Apple/Google thing from this week?
They baiting, man. They're trying to get a law decision in their favor, and they did it on purpose.
Oh yeah, no.
Of course.
That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Everything else is going to be decided in a court of law with lots of bribes.
So the thing to take away from all of this is that it's three massive companies trying to marginalize the profits of each other, and in a lot of cases, like I don't necessarily like I kind of lay in the side of like Epic in that to a point the store holders shouldn't have any rights over microtransactions inside of the products. There's not a lot of other stores that do that. I mean, Steam is really the only other one that does that, and even that I tend to feel is kind of like a bit of a stab in the back because there's this whole analogy about monopolies and stuff like that, and it's really prolific in the gaming scene. And like anyone who says I really hate Epic and all that sort of stuff, clearly has never tried to release a video game before. Because
no, I really hate Epic. Come on, they literally went around to games that had promised to release on Steam or other locations via Kickstarter or Patreon, and we're like, all right, look, we want you to break your exclusivity deals. Here's a fuck ton of money. And they were just like, oh man, money, that's great, let's do it.
So
they won the internet with giant piles of dollars. They're the Yankees of video game companies, except we don't like them, unlike the Yankees, who are award-winning champion teams.
So why don't you like them? What is the reason why you don't like them? Because
they convince a whole bunch of people to break exclusivity deals.
There was no, okay. So when it comes to that sort of stuff, like that money that they gave them is super important for developers, mostly because in order for them to make back the money that they spend on developing the games, they would have to release on a platform and contend with
it's
other
okay
products.
To break your contractual obligation to your clients if you make more money in the process.
What contractual obligation?
To the customers who have already paid you when they pre-ordered a game.
Like Kickstarter.
Like Kickstarter or MechWarrior 5 or a number of... there's dozens of people they did this to. The games and Epic Store have a responsibility to act ethically towards their consumers. They fail to do so in every circumstance. Epic Games is literally like, all right, guys, I'm here to tell you I'm the president of Epic Games on Twitter. Boom. You know what? We're never going to do this thing. And like a month later, they're like, we are going to do that thing we said we weren't going to do 28 days ago. Unboom. Y'all cool with it? Fortnite?
No, I think
that's how Epic Games operates.
No, I think your opinion is incredibly uneducated, Arthur. I hate to say it like that, but like in the very
I would say the
terms,
opposite. You are coming at this from a game developer point of view as a person who wants to make money. I'm coming at it from the point of view of a consumer, someone who understands contracts.
Consumer. Okay, think of it like this. If there was never any other platform that would compete with Steam, eventually the absolute laziness that would come from managing a monopoly would be passed on to the consumer.
You can compete with Steam without tempting people into breaking their contracts.
You absolutely cannot. There are things in place inside of Steam that makes it so that if you want to participate and make money from Steam, you have to point all of your customers towards that platform. If you do not do that, you will not succeed on Steam. That is how Steam works.
I think part of the problem is that, like, so in both cases, so you look at like with Epic bringing some games in exclusive away from the bigger platforms, is that part of Epic's message in that is that we're breaking up the bigger guys' monopoly. You know, we're taking on the duopoly that is, you know, Steam / Origin / whatever else, and we are giving, you know, people more choice by creating different platforms. But of course, they do it in a way that makes them more money. You know, and likewise in the Fortnite versus Apple thing, you know, they're saying that what we like, if they get their way, if they manage to reduce Apple Store fees, you know, then the people that will benefit will be smaller indie game developers. But of course, you know, Epic, already being a $12 billion company, also benefits too. I think the trick here is that there are no heroes in this battle. You know, in this, you know, Epic versus Apple versus Google, there's no heroes. No matter what any side tries to tell you about the justice of their side, I think that everybody is just trying to you know, to get their piece of the pie, but make themselves look like the one that's benefiting the public the most in the background, even though the actions are primarily.
And I understand that
driven.
And yet Epic signed these contracts with these individual companies.
You know what's
flagrantly
part about all of
not
this?
only are they flagrantly breaking it, they prepared a 65-page document that they sent out an hour after it, meaning they knew they were breaking it intentionally and were ready for a legal battle afterwards, and try to play it off like, whoa, chill Fortnite kids. What's up, bros? Looks like these big corporate losers are trying to shut us down. Tell your parents, get their senators on the phone. Woo, free pinata bucks. That's Fortnite's stance right now, is fuck everything we're supposed to be doing.
So the part that is the most sad about all of this, and the part that a lot of people don't really recognize, is these games that get bought by and having a 6-month, 1-year exclusivity, releasing on Epic Games, also getting their a minimum guarantee that will cover all of the development costs and then some for these products. The things that they lose, and this is the reason why you need to destabilize Monopoly pretty much instantaneously, is because consumers like Arthur only purchase
we're
from
all
one
consumers
store.
here.
No, they only purchase from one store, and it's very much like that because of the way and systems that are built into Steam.
I would say EA and Ubisoft would disagree with you on my PC.
No,
unless they
PC,
somehow are all owned by Steam.
What was the last product you purchased directly off the Ubisoft store?
So for me, it was the Division 2.
Not Total War. What's the other series?
Of those, your video game, let's just say this: of your video game purchases over the last 4 years,
I'm getting there.
How many have been from Steam? How many have been from Ubisoft, Origin, Epic?
I would say I've purchased more things off the Nintendo store than I have off of Steam.
Sure, but that's like a console infrastructure. That's we're just talking about PC markets right here.
I don't know. Hard Space Shipbreaker and Hell Let Loose. I bought 2 or 3 games this year, and they were all on Steam.
Have you gone out of your way to try and find a different store to purchase those games in?
I don't go to platforms in order to purchase games. I say I want to buy this game, and then I buy it. I'm not like, oh man, that is on Steam and only Steam, I'm gonna buy that.
So if a developer said to you, hey guys, we're released on all the platforms, but if you buy from this one, we get a higher percentage, and
they
it would
do
really
that.
help us.
They do that with pre-order bonuses, do they not? I mean, that is the thing that happens on a cross-platform console basis.
But would you I mean, we're not talking about consoles, we're talking strictly PC. Would you go out of your way to make sure that your purchase funds a developer better with their rev share, or would you just say, fuck it, I'm going to buy it on the platform that I like because this is where I purchase all my games?
So, I mean, from my point of view, David,
has that ever happened?
No, look, I've seen circumstances before where people have outright said that you can buy it many ways, but this way benefits us the most, and that has swayed my buying decision. But I'm only one person though, and you're right, there are a lot of people that
I've literally never heard of this,
where they're most comfortable, or don't even see those things because they're just so used to buying it one place. I think that the best example here is MechWarrior 5, where I think that because of what happened, less consumers will end up purchasing MechWarrior 5 than would have purchased it otherwise. There were people that
they lost me.
Canceled pre-order, and they said they'll buy it a year later, and then so I got on Epic when it came out, and if people say to me, "Hey, should I buy MechWarrior 5?" I'm like, yeah, it's not great. Maybe wait until it's out of Steam and it's on special. It didn't wow me, and so there'll be people that were going to buy it without any reviews. That now there have been reviews out that will say, "I'm not going to buy it." So less people will buy it, but at the same time, the company which produced it, Piranha Games, will make more money than they would have made if they had sold it through the model they'd previously organized. So it comes down to the importance of the revenue generated by a product compared to the number of consumers of the product. Because there's a whole thing of if I could sell one book for $1 billion or sell 1 billion books for $1 each, then there's the whole thing of that's the same thing. But then again, there's all the infrastructure that supports those mechanisms. It's much smaller infrastructure to sell only one book, but only one person gets to consume what you've actually produced then.
Sure. But let's say it cost you $1 billion to make that $1 billion book. Which platform would you go to?
Yeah, well, I mean, so then it comes down to whether the creator is more interested in more people consuming, or less cost and infrastructure, and therefore more profitability.
Well, I mean, let me tell you something. A little secret here: video games tend to last forever. And in the case of like MechWarrior or anything like that, that's mostly single player focused, those games will continue to find a life outside of Epic. Right.
I would say that's the most complete misunderstanding of the MechWarrior series, but okay.
In terms of just products and stuff like that, like the average lifespan of a video game these days well exceeds, what it used to be previously. Having said that, though, the most important thing for a developer to make is to make sure that they hit the green as quickly as possible, which is to say, make sure that an MG gets covered for them. Steam doesn't offer any MGs. Steam takes 30%. Put in perspective here, if we sell a game for $9.99 on Steam US, we make maybe on each sale via the Steam infrastructure probably like $6 of that $9.99, not on sale or anything like that. If we release on another platform,
70-30 split, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But then on top of that, you also have tax, and you also have a lot of other stuff that goes into play, which the developer takes from his cut, not Steam. Steam doesn't handle any of that stuff. So you don't get very much. Meanwhile, on other platforms like itch or GOG or anything like that, you walk away with just about all of it, right? There's very little that those platforms actually take. But the number of customers on Steam versus the number of customers on a platform that actually makes more money for the developer, is astronomically different. Like, we've maybe sold 100 copies on itch, but we've sold close to 40 to 50,000 copies of the game on Steam, right? Like, that's the difference between the two within the period of like 3 weeks, right? Like, it's like just incredibly different. So it's very difficult to say. I'm more leaning towards the idea that there is a company out there that's willing to upfront the minimum guarantee for developers to make sure that they can focus on like continuing to exist as a business in order to destabilize the monopoly of gamers. Right? That's pretty much, to me, the most important thing that Epic's doing. So when Epic does this with like the mobile market, that's even better, because right now, if you like, there are so many like sleazy mechanics in order to get your game up into the top 10 of both the iOS store and the Android store that directly benefits them in terms of how much money they make. It's absolutely fucking crazy. And if we can pull that away and make sure that, these platforms become platforms rather than like storefronts, that's great. I would be all in for that. But, someone's got to upfront the cost, be that through lawyers, be that through motions, be that through putting up MGs. All that stuff needs to happen somewhere. If no one did it, we would, in a couple of years' time, Steam would never change, and they would probably still be selling loot crates and that sort of shit to people. So, if no one ever confronts them about these tactics, they're never going to change. So that's just how it goes. Anyway, that seemed like a really long rant.
Oh, that's all right. I was the one that put us in the rabbit hole, and at least we managed to discuss it without, there was no ad hominem in there, so we're all good. Sorry to hijack the show, Arthur.
Yep.
I had that question.
Happens all the time. I don't remember where we were.
Pondo's the intro.
Pondo.
Hi, I'm Pondo. Yeah. I got really nothing after all that. Yeah. Just to hop back to what James said about power level increases, I got screwed over in that market as far as this game goes, and then he actually got better.
But you're also doing Marines in your home life too, aren't you? So you got screwed doubly.
Well, power level, I haven't really gotten into any games. I don't even know if there's really even a circuit around here for that type of stuff, to be honest. I'd recently just got to. I had to pretty much re-prime myself.
Sorry, just be clear. You bought armies for a game you don't know if you can play.
I'm doing it as more of the hobby to paint, not to necessarily play.
Wow.
Why don't you do like?
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I feel like you could just
surely
paint
there's
artwork.
cheaper miniatures.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was
like,
gonna say.
like
Now,
you can probably go down to Goodwill and get like a bunch of old D&D miniatures and paint those, right?
But on the
Like,
other hand, of course, he actually does play Warhammer 40K, so it makes sense to have something waiting just in case.
So it's like, yeah, if at some point down the line I move to somewhere that does have like a circuit, then
Yeah. All right, I'll buy that.
something.
Sorry, I know I seemed a little mocking, but
Are you currently experiencing the group delusion that one day you can get your fiance into this hobby?
No. I think I might have. I really don't recall. I think I did offer at one point, but she just ignored me. So
I tried that with Magic the Gathering with my wife because I needed someone to help me play in local tournaments here in Poland. I don't play Magic anymore, as it turns out.
So I will tell you, by the way, kids are a good, blank slate to push into your hobbies. So I've got my kids starting Warhammer, starting CCGs. So, but yeah, that's a longer term investment.
Penny Arcade did a comic one time with two dads showing up with their kids at a Pokemon cards tournament, and it was literally just the dads telling the kids which cards to play and what deck to build, and then arguing with each other like, no child would ever construct an infinite loop deck or something like that. And I was like, this James right here, when you said that, this is the first thing that came to mind. Cover behind your child as you make them a top contender.
Do they have a term for that? Like, they have soccer moms, right?
Helicopter parents.
Is that really what it is, though? Like,
Yeah.
Wouldn't helicopter parents be like a show, like beauty pageant kid parents or something? Like,
that
I
has
think
its
that's its
own
own thing.
terminology. Yeah.
So the main problem I've got right now is that when I play Warhammer with my kids and I win, they cry. So I've got to keep it enjoyable for them. I've got to keep losing. So
I couldn't do that. My pride would. I would make the best attempt to make them look good while also still winning, and they probably would not be.
yeah, I honestly worry about that because I'm a pretty selfish guy, and I've told my wife this is just like, I don't know how good of a dad I'll be because I'm pretty fucking selfish. Like if I don't think I've had brothers before, right? So like I used to do the thing with my younger brother where you'd like give him an unplugged controller because I didn't want to have him play the game with me.
Oh, look, that's Twitch streaming before Twitch streams existed.
yeah, I've done that with my son
right?
too when he was younger.
I did that as well with my little brother.
Yeah, so like I can't imagine like intention, like how long's what's the average runtime of a tabletop Warhammer game?
4 hours.
Like for a single
It's standard like 2,000 point tournament level, about 4 hours. Yeah.
Whew, imagine playing something for 4 hours straight and then having to lose consistently. Like, can't imagine it. I feel for you, James. That sounds rough. What age can you start kicking their ass though? Like that's going to be like a.
But Arthur gets it too. Arthur, like me, is primarily a GM when it comes to role playing. So when you're the GM, you lose a lot more than you win.
I've never won a single episode of BattleTech. It's so weird how that works out.
Wait. What do you mean by lose as a GM? Like I don't think I've ever lost as a GM.
I feel like you lost every single fight with Dante Fierro. Completely cleared the field out.
I mean, I was more interested in telling cool stories.
You did kill. You killed a wolf. I recall something like that, or maybe a sentient ape.
Yeah, it was like the very first fight in 2020. You got to shoot a wolf, and that was
very first bullet.
You shot Virgil's character as well. Same fight.
Mortar.
That was fun. Yeah.
I think you pretty much shot his. No, you almost shot his arm off.
I actually pulled my punches pretty hard in that first episode, I think. Otherwise, I would have killed some characters.
Spooty. I did not pull my punches, but I didn't realize he wasn't wearing armor on his torso or arms. So I was fucking shocked when he was like, "Well, I'm at minus 30 hit points," and I'm like, "You're what?"
Yeah. My favorite part of all of that Night City stuff was basically like I had a bunch of like Twitch streamers who were playing with me, and they didn't like the reality of the game. By that I mean like they didn't like the idea that there was like rules that prevented them from winning. So like I was like, you know, so basically the entire game was basically just me being like, well, technically, but whatever. So I guess I never lost because they never really played the game fully. I guess I don't know.
What else you got, Pondo?
No, that's about it. Yeah, no, I had to like recover for a day after I found out the point level increases, and I was like, well, shit. There went my whole Space Marine section for the whole army, and then I got over it. And I've been waiting for tonight. Yeah.
Pretty good Jennifer Lopez song, but what else are you doing?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here, just listening.
Pondo doesn't sleep; he waits.
Yeah, wait.
Wow, that's the most vampiric thing I've heard about Pondo.
I turn off the lamp there, and the light gets turned off in here, sitting in the dark, just staring at a blank screen because it goes to the screensaver. But
that was the most grimdark thing I've ever heard about Pondo. Oh, well.
I just imagine you just staring at a screen and that pipe screensaver from
Windows
90s.
95. Yeah.
I wish those were still a thing because I always liked watching them because I don't know why.
Infinite space.
Or the one where it's like the machine walking through the maze and it's just like bonk, 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 and it finds the ball. Oh my god. What happened to screensavers? Do we not like
I don't know.
I mean, it's easier to just turn the screen off than it is to screen save. They have just to go back on the point, like there's screensavers are worthless. If you just turn the monitor off or you turn the power running to the monitor off as part of sleep mode, you save a lot more power than you do putting on a screensaver.
Yeah, but the aesthetic of a screensaver, surely.
I put a 10-hour YouTube video on a loop on your main monitor.
Look, for me, Pondo is now the Pablo Escobar meme.
Wow.
The one where he's just standing in like an empty playground or something.
Just looking at things, sadly.
James used that on us at one point, and I was going to use it against him at another point when he was going to be off. And I forgot to do it, and I hate it. I hate myself for it. I'll get him back one day. I just got to figure out when he's not available, which is very difficult to figure that out.
Yeah, he's got to. I'm usually unavailable when my wife tells me that, you know, it would be a bad idea for you to stream today.
That's right. Yeah.
My God.
Yesterday.
I love the like. By the way, James, how does it make you feel that Jimmy Barnes is that screaming guy in the mountain meme? Like, do you get a sense of like pride like I do whenever someone brings up that meme?
No, because my wife will always remind me he's Scottish, not Australian. So
he's still Australian to me. It's just kind of like how we
the spirit of
took
Australia.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
you know, we took Russell Crowe. He's ours. We took Mel Gibson. He's ours. Yeah, like you know, fuck them. They're Australian as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. I don't know if that's how nationality works, but sure.
It is when you're Australian.
Got anything else, Pondo?
No, I got nothing else.
Well, it's actually been pretty terrible here in the Delawares. Yeah, that's all I got. It's absolutely awful everywhere here. Meat prices going up again.
You know what they say. The government hates the bathtub meat fisherman. So.
What?
You haven't seen that movie? Okay. Yeah.
No. No.
Trying to keep an honest tuna bathtub fisherman down, you know. Growing your own tuna inside of your bathtub.
Well, Dave, I'm here to let you know that goldfish aren't supposed to be bull-sized. They actually turn into super giant gyrodoses if you allow them to. Why are you shaking your head at that? This is actual.
Goldfish aren't carp.
What?
It's you're thinking of a koi.
No, I just like gyarados.
No, the legend. It's a koi that is it a koi? It's either a koi or a carp. That
Magic
goes up
carp.
a waterfall that becomes egg.
Yes, but I'm talking about giant fish that become super giant fish.
Yes.
You're talking about a specific legend. I'm talking about dinosaur fish. Okay. Goldfish are dinosaur fish. Okay. Listen, you want to talk about legends? There are legends of goldfish that have defeated crocodiles in single combat. Okay? People can't defeat crocodiles in single combat, but a goldfish can.
Steve Irwin.
I don't know if you can take the pinnacle of masculinity as an example of all human existence.
Saying like average people?
Yes, I believe that the average person would die fighting alligators and crocodiles, Pondo. I absolutely believe that.
Okay.
Because I've seen the Florida crime statistics on missing persons.
What about Bear Grylls? Could Bear Grylls take a crocodile?
I mean, Bear Grylls could take the crocodile if it was right outside his hotel room, and he had a full team of experts teaching him how to do it.
I think Bear
you have to drink his urine first or not?
He wouldn't be able to take a crocodile.
Bear Grylls, come on now. Bear Grylls is Steve Irwin. Like, he's the American Steve Irwin. Okay.
No. Bear Grylls isn't American. No.
I mean, he's Canadian, right?
That's a very strange comparison.
I'm using the comparison. All right, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna start the episode. James, do whatever your thing is.
Steve Irwin is Steve Irwin. I don't know if you can make another copy of Steve Irwin.
I mean,
you can. It's called the son of Steve Irwin, who's still
his daughter. His daughter is more Steve Irwin than the son is.
I mean, the son did some pretty good stuff. I've seen some videos lately of him that were fucking hilarious.
All right. Okay, on to episode 18 of Rogue Trade: The Last Scion, which is entitled Terrible Secrets. So, previously on Rogue Trade: The Last Scion, we see the Hand of Calixis arrive in orbit of Regina 4, along with 3 other ships already in orbit. Pierre Cowles is once again welcomed to landfall with pomp and ceremony by the administrator. Nero is led away by a Deathwatch librarian of the Storm Wardens. We see Sister Dawn seeking the counsel of Koronus Expanse. And finally, a council of war is held in preparation for the coming battle against the Necrons. Thought for the day is the truth is too terrible to bear. So, I believe that we had ended off with the plan to potentially go and investigate this structure underneath the Anvil of War. Is that roughly?
I believe it was a Saturday evening. We had asked people to RSVP if they wish to attend.
Is this the thing that you guys went down and it had all like the
yes,
bugs in
evil
it
pyramid,
and like
filled with mechanical bugs?
And it had like a dude, like a big giant man in a thing, and he was like, I'm dead, but not really."
Yeah, he's still not dead, but not really.
Okay. Yeah. And he had like lots of little robots that he sent after people. And
yes.
Stuff like that. Okay.
I nearly died.
Cool.
Yep. I think I need to try to get some light power armor. As far as my note I have from I think last week.
He did. He put those in the notes at the end of the last session.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
So,
yes.
I love the idea that we're standing right outside.
from the.
And Pierre's on his cell phone. He's just like, just 1 second, guys. Okay.
I think it's Pierre's wife is just on the box or phone, just like, yes, I need this. Can you get it to me?
Stop, I mean, for you, using the Vox or phone is talking to a psychic. So
I was more thinking that, like,
telephone.
because we ended off the last session with doing your acquisitions.
Yes.
So, that you've just finished making all those calls, those acquisitions, and failed to get something. And then Pierre's checked his quantum, was like, oh, new episode. Okay, I can try again.
Just comes back the very next day.
He had to shake his
no.
watch a bunch, just to time it up again.
Now, about that power armor. Is it available
right.
now?
So light power armor is extremely rare, which is -30. You only want one, which is +30. So it's a flat 0 if it's just for common quality.
Is this the one for me, or is this a different one?
One for you.
Okay, yeah.
Because this is specifically from the Sister Sororitas. So you
Okay,
get a
so
+20 of that as well, right? Or was that
Yeah.
one for last session?
No, that's still. I'll still apply that this session. That's fine.
Okay.
So that would bring you an extra 4. So that would put you up to 68% chance with the bonus from the last session.
Yeah.
No.
Of course.
Roll a 71.
All right. Well, let's see if I can get a storm bolter. Why not? Let's see.
Okay. Storm bolters are a flat +0. I know that much. So it would be a 48 plus commerce test.
20, because I got to think about it. Skill.
Oh, nice. So
+14. So.
62. 60. No. Sorry, it would be 50. 58. 58.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What did you guys get
nope,
for your
6.
Nope.
level
that's not
3
right.
thing?
It was a D10, not a D6. Oh, 3. Okay, even better.
Wow.
Yep.
Right.
So the question from Dave is, what did people buy with their? What's their rank 3 increase they've gotten now that you've got rank 3 XP?
Do you guys get anything cool or?
Well, I got my talent called Foresight, which gives me a +10 when I think about it. It's pretty much me telling myself to do it better.
It's pretty good skill. I mean, it pretty much means if you can take your time on something, you can get a +10. Yeah, it's only when you can't actually stop and think about something before you do it.
So now, like on this commerce test, I can feasibly get a +20 instead of just +10 that I normally had.
Oh, neat. I think the only thing I got was like the battle rage, which means I can
parry.
I think it's like
frenzy.
Parry, but it also get like toughness bonus and a damage bonus or some.
Well, that's what frenzy gives. Frenzy gives you that, but battle rage allows you to do
Parry while
frenzy. Parry. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'll try to get a refractor field for myself because why not? Unless I can try to get the power armor again. Just pester.
I mean, look, you can use a second. You can use a second try to do it if you want.
I would love to try that.
Okay, so it's a new commerce test. Okay. So
5.7.
that brings you up to another 10, so 74% chance.
All right, that sounds like good odds, but my luck with good odds is not great. Ironically enough. Okay. Nice.
Hey, with a roll of 9. Yep. You finally poked the person.
To get this for her. What do you say?
Well, we have some injured sisters we could take it off, I guess.
So the only thing that's going to be the time to get it is whether it will actually arrive before the Necrons do. So I believe it's D5 weeks. Let me just double check. Extremely rare on this population of world.
That's probably going to be like a month.
It is D10 weeks.
Okay. So it's about like we're 4 weeks out, right?
About 5 weeks out.
5. So we need to get at least. Nope. Okay.
Unfortunately, they're after the battle, but there'll be future battles where relevant.
What quality was that armor?
Common quality.
Common. I think the only what armor does with quality, I think it might give you more more.
It does, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So it making it good halves the weight, and making it best halves the weight and increases the values by 1.
But the most important thing is like mostly narrative stuff from that, right? Because I can use it in space and all that stuff.
That's right. Yeah. Thankfully, we're not planning to have any battles in space anytime. Well, like not personal combat in space anyway at the moment.
Well, I mean, it's already come up a couple of times that we had to put on different suits and shit. So like, you know, that alone, I think is like worth it.
Yeah.
So this was light power armor. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 4. That's 7. That's still better than what I have. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Plus, it'll give you some extra strength, and it'll be sealed, so you can
really?
go outside with it. Yeah.
Oh.
It should give you extra strength. That's typically what it does.
So, Inquisitor Shrain has called for a meeting before you guys head into the bowels of the ship. So, assuming everyone goes along with Shrain, the Flesh Terror Deathwatch Marine that's there, Fitrian, along with the Nova Marine, Epicus, and also Captain Bren of your sort of recently hired mercenaries also turned up, just in case he or his men are required. So, Shrain starts off. Lord Captain, I wanted to talk with you before we go on this escapade into this alien construct. Did you have any thoughts as to whom or what you wanted to bring with you into this place?
Well, my personal entourage, and plus the boy's going to let us go inside, so that's about it.
Okay. So you weren't planning to bring armsmen or any other sort of fodder?
No, because typically if we brought the slaughter, they would just kill themselves as far as something they see, so it might not be the best idea.
That was my concern, to be honest, was that not so much that they might see something that might lead them to harm themselves, but they might see something that might lead to me requiring to harm them at a later point for their own safety or the safety of the Imperium.
Yes, I've been told before that it's not a good idea to bring NPCs to an event like this.
NPCs.
I'd like to suggest then that we still have Epicus's team and perhaps some armsmen take us or escort us to the entrance to this thing and be on hand just in case we come across something we can't handle.
We'll bring
there's a Terminator of the Silver Skulls that's following around, so does that work as well?
That's true. I imagine he'll be coming too, so
I don't think you'd be able to fit otherwise, but you know.
Yeah. So he's once again staying outside the building, keep an eye from the outside of the building. Because he doesn't fit in most of the buildings that are in this place.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's not a space Hulk, so it's not.
So yeah, I honestly don't know what to expect in there. But I just wanted to make sure, like, what are, because your scans indicate this thing goes very deep. So
at least a mile. Yes.
Which is, I think, as far as your scans can go down.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much we'll find near the surface, but I think we need to know more about what we're potentially facing here and what the Necrons are coming after. So I will, for this point, defer to you in terms of I have no additional knowledge at this point in time. If something strikes me as obvious when we enter, I will let you know. But otherwise, this is still your show. This is your This is your planet. This is your salvage.
Excellent. We'll be leaving towards there immediately. We've got a weekly schedule to keep a whole track of. Remember?
Yes. Well, let's gather our things and we'll meet you there.
Excellent.
So shortly after you leave that meeting, as you're sort of gathering your final things, wherever you're currently staying, Nero, because it's on the planet's surface.
Yep.
You hear like a heavy clomping of pyramid feet outside your door, and there is a knock on the door.
I take the thrice locked chest of Nero the Blade, and I push it underneath my cot, and then I say, "I'll be there," and then I open the door to let them know I'm about to open the door before I open the door.
No worries. So staying there is Brother Vitrian, the Flesh Terror Deathwatch Marine.
Yep.
And along with some sort of weapons servitor, like not a combat servitor. I mean like a weapons maintenance servitor, or like an armoring servitor, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Vitrian looks at you. He's got his helmet off this time, and sort of crossed across his back is probably the biggest chainsword you've ever seen. Like it's the chainsword is at least as tall as you are, and it's different in that it has like the cutting blade goes all the way over the top and down the other side, rather than disappearing into like a receptacle. So effectively, it's like a double-bladed chainsword. It looks horrifically unwieldy. Like it certainly has the pommel itself is probably about a foot long, and would sort of need to be held top and bottom by powered armored fists. But he has this shield across his back, which you've not seen him carrying before. But he also has his bolter too.
I mean, look, Nero is a fan of weaponry like this, right? Like even if it's too ridiculous for someone to wield, he appreciates the killing potential.
And it is masterfully made as well. Like you can tell from the like it's although it's been like splattered with blood and cleaned in the past, it is still, a beautiful piece of machinery.
I mean, this is a Death Watch issue, probably, right?
It doesn't look like it. You can see it's actually got like flesh tear signals on the pommel as well.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it looks like more like a personal thing.
Nero is just thinking back to when his gun talked to him and initiated combat with the pineapple grenade, and he's remembering he hasn't thanked the gun in reality yet, and so that has been added to his checklist immediately after this meeting. And he says, "My lord,
may I come in?"
Nero steps back and gestures for him to come in.
Right. He does, like, he's got this sort of constant sneer on his face, like he's looking at you with barely contained rage. And like as his lips peel back, you can see he's got horrifically elongated canine teeth. So like, almost like the sort of the classic vampire sort of look about him as well. Even then, like his other teeth have been sharpened too. So he walks in as does the servitor. I wanted to talk to you about the fact that you slew my brother Ananias.
I cannot claim personal victory in single combat over him.
Why not?
I was unable to finish the job before he grievously injured me, and Nero will like show where Ananias beat the fuck out of him and say, while I was able to harm him to the point that he necessitated fleeing, I was left battered and unconscious and required a sororitas intervention with the touch of the Emperor himself, the God Emperor himself. My apologies. Ananias was slain by a random guardsman with a nice gun on the outside of the ship.
You are wrong. By your actions, Ananias was run to ground. He was pursued, and he made a mistake. That mistake cost him his life. The fact that you didn't pull the final trigger is irrelevant to the fact that it was you that led him to that position.
I don't disagree that I commanded the operation.
As far as I'm concerned, his death is on your hands.
Is there a price you ask of me for committing this slaying of a Death Watch Space Marine?
No, Ananias was a traitor. I simply wish to tell you that I respect you for what you did. And because we will soon enter the field of battle together, I wanted to enact an ancient rite of my chapter, of my code. He draws the eviscerate off his back and holds it out in front of him with one of the blade edges pointing towards you.
Nero is a little concerned, but he doesn't let it show.
This is Foe Shredder. It was crafted by master artisans on Cretaceous over 4 centuries ago. It has ended heretics, traitors, and aliens. Remove your gauntlet and vambrace and place your hand upon its edge.
I am a player is hesitating, but I don't think Nero would. Mostly because this guy already has this pointed at him, so whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen at this point. So without question, Nero just removes the stuff and places his fleshy hand upon this horrifying.
Yeah, so it's like you can feel that even though like the actual individual teeth are like 6 inches wide, they are still sharp along the edges, but not enough that you just cut your hand by putting it on there. It's such you just feel that
it's like polar bear claws.
That's it.
Just need that 2,000-pound crushing power.
Do you, Nero, Julius, Augustus Bullet, accept your role in this? Do you promise to enter the zone of war and conduct yourself to glory, no matter the ferocity or ingenuity of the foe? Do you swear to crush the enemies of the Emperor of Mankind, despite all they might throw at you? Do you pledge to do honor to your captain, your ship, and the Emperor?
I have always done so and will continue to do so. I so pledge.
So while you're doing this, you notice that like the servitor has like a little device at its waist, and as he speaks the oath and what you say, it's like spitting out a little vellum scroll of what he said and what you said written in High Gothic.
I get every third word. Right, I'm probably reading it upside down, so
yeah. The servitor walks over to you, like it tears the scroll off.
Nice giving me a receipt. Yeah,
and it like holds the scroll up to your chest plate, and then like a little mechadendrite arm drops some red hot wax onto the tip of the scroll, and then with his free hand, Vitrion sort of like pounds you with the flat of his fist in the chest, like enough to like knock you back a couple of feet, but at the same time like effectively marking his imprint on the wax seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad because now I've made a decision, James. I'm not going to wear the heavy power armor in the upcoming battle because I've got a Deathwatch Space Marine Flesh Terror sealed armor. It feels like that would be something Nero would do. He would not switch to the heavy power armor now that it has been sanctified. He doesn't want to say anything yet because he doesn't know if the ritual's over.
Yep. Well, he without saying any more puts the eviscerator back on his back and turns to leave.
I am honored.
Well, then show your honor in the field of battle.
I will see you there, Vitrion.
He leaves and the door closes. Well,
then Nero leaves. He catches up with him in the hallway. They're both going the same direction.
It's one of those awkward things where it's like we've already said goodbye, but we're going the same way. Yeah. All right. So presumably everybody gathers near the entrance to the ship.
Yeah.
Nero's got his anything before they...
cool sealed scroll on his chest.
Yeah. So presumably when Nero walks up, the other two of you see he's got this purity seal stamped onto his chest. Although you're used to like the purity seals being like sealed with like a ecclesiastical like a proper seal rather than being like pounded in by a fist.
Good luck for you, Nero.
Thank you.
I suspect that you've come to terms with something. You seem to have a much better stride than you used to.
Yes. He's gonna look down at his heavy bolter and say, I had an experience that helped balance me. But the clarity of mind I have not felt since before this voyage began. Alright, well this is all very somber, but we do need to get on with the killing and the dying.
Well, hopefully none of that will be happening today.
I sure hope there's killing today.
Leave the dying part out of it. Just keep to the killing.
I wish I could, Lord Captain, but in the book, in my archetype, it literally describes not dying as our primary concern. Pulling ourselves out from a pile of bodies.
I always tell people that from my time as a bodyguard that, they always make the joke about throwing yourself in front of the bullet, doing the Mr. President thing. And I always tell people that you never do that because they always carry more than one bullet.
Yeah.
So, I shot the bodyguard. Okay, and I'll shoot the guy.
Yep.
How long
I don't know. I literally just watched Bodyguard tonight, and he took 2 bullets perfectly fine. Thank you very much.
How long will it take to get the Stormbolter?
It's not going to be today, for sure.
They are also extremely rare, so it's a D10 weeks.
I'll do that. Why not? Just to see.
So wait, it's
okay.
2 Stormbolters with Vambraces. Sorry. Since there's no difference between 2 and 5, we should just get 5, and I'll throw the rest in my chest, and we can give them to good NPCs who I like.
Okay.
So
that would have increased it by 10, but I think that I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy
it's
to wait.
negative 15.
I think I got a 6 on the roll anyway, so
it's negative 15 to get it.
I got a 3 on the roll. I don't know if it really mattered.
Wait, what are you talking about? Did you actually make the roll?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least for the Stormbolters, yeah.
Okay.
That's the second one.
Yes. So it's the Stormbolters with the Vambraces increases the difficulty to -15 profit factor. All right. So they're not going to be here until after the battle, right?
Yep.
It looks like it.
All right. So Nero's just like, I understand, Lord Captain. That's just the way it is. Things will never change.
Well, just don't get into melee combat into battle, and you'll be fine. The main battle, that is. Up until then, it's hard to say. Hopefully, we have enough people that can take the brunt.
I agree. Lord Captain, I wanted to talk to you about buying a salamander with some sort of communications equipment. Whatever that calculation thing is that raises your ability to commerce.
Yes, that would actually be nice.
Yes, it would be nice to have a command tank for us to travel with now that I can drive it.
Why not just get a Lehman Russ then?
I mean, a Lehman Russ is a bit overkill for 3 people, don't you think?
No.
Dawn, are you sure that that's Pierre I'm talking to? I feel like I'm talking to myself now.
Well, Shrade's here, and he's like, there is certainly a difference in comfort between riding in a Lehman Russ versus riding in a command tank.
Nero double finger points over to him.
Yes, but there's a certain more sense of fear when someone has a battle cannon pointed at them rather than just a flamethrower.
Okay, well, let me just put this out there. Command tank with Lehman Russ escorts.
Inquisitor Strain, incredibly genius. Let's call that long-term goals. I'm writing it down right now in my notes.
Lord Captain, I honestly would not underestimate the fear-creating capacity of a flamethrower.
Yep, Nero points there as well. Double fingers. See, all of your advisors are informing you a salamander is a comfortable command vehicle from which we can traverse, like the Mako in Mass Effect, right? We need an iconic land vehicle. At this point, we've rode horse camels. It's not a good look for us. Makes us seem like peasants.
Riding lizards.
Yes, and we can put your calculatron inside it in the passenger compartment.
Fine, I'll look into it.
Very well.
Just mean to go to the shops every time with a tank.
Well, presumably the tank is inside the ship most of the time. So it's just going down to the vehicle bay and being like, let me make a call. From my fancy phone.
All right. So you plus Bren's mercenaries plus the Marines all make your way down through the ship to the chamber beneath where everybody carefully climbs down. I think one of the Marines has a jump pack, can actually jump back down. But you find yourselves now back where the Aegis line and the multi-melter used to be pointed at this this black stone pyramid.
Now, is the power on it turned on?
Which power?
Well, it had power lines that attached itself to the ship, right?
Yeah, so they've been effectively the Silver Skulls, when you were first clearing out all of the ship, they pretty much just kept destroying him, which came out until they still stopped sending things out. So it's not currently powered.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
So they just waited, and as things came out, when they were destroying the power, they just shot what came out, right?
You know that thing that
so it probably made like 3 more attempts to re-freaking at power before it gave up.
You know the thing that cats do where they pick up baby cats by the back of their neck? I do that to Cade. I got Cade left-handed. I'm just holding his tiny, frail 11-year-old body up, and I'm like, "What, Captain?"
Cade is still he's built for an 11-year-old. He's carrying a hunting rifle too.
Yeah,
so.
I'm still picking him up.
Oh, I have
pretty
pretty
good
a
strength.
long last. I don't know what would be better. I have my long las that I can't use.
He's not skilled in las weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I turn to Cade and I say, "Don't worry. Probably won't need that."
Is that a separate skill? Is it not under basic?
He's not built using road trader stats, so he has las weapon training. Sorry, SP weapon training basic, not universal.
Yeah, he's a child.
Dark Heresy character.
He's a
not
savage.
rotator.
Listen, he's a Savage World child. What do you want from him? I've had like 6 weeks to train him in how to speak the English language.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm holding him up, and I turn and I say, "Does anyone remember what the hieroglyphics say in order to use this person?" Right? I don't remember the story because that was like actually 6 months ago. In
I
and
believe
out of
that he
character.
just has to touch it, so to speak.
Yes, but do we need to be like touching him? Do we need to form a circle? I don't want him to like go inside and then we can't go inside with him.
Well, let's just do the classic thing as an attack.
I'm gonna turn
Tie a
to
rope around his waist, send him in. If he doesn't, and pull him back
teleports.
in.
I don't think the rope is going to go with him. Cade,
That's the classic part. He'll come back out. He'll be ripped at the end.
I'm gonna shake Cade and then turn him towards me like a ventriloquist puppet and be like, "Cade, you have been preparing to do this your entire life because that's who you are. How do you think this works?"
Can I make some sort of forbidden law, maybe, or something here?
I mean, it'd be forbidden law Xenotech if you had that, but I don't think anyone does
I
have
have
that.
Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Okay, I'll take that then. Yeah, but let Cade answer while you're rolling dice. He says,
Okay.
like no one that's ever come here has come back, so they've never told me what to expect. But
Correct.
if I were coming here at the appropriate age, I would simply approach the pyramid, perhaps touch it if it didn't open.
I'll leave it.
I've not been taught any rituals or incantations.
All right. Cade, you're a good young man, and I want to remind you that everything you know is heretical and wrong, and that if we see any of those angels down here, we're going to shoot them in the face.
I concur with this statement. We
Also,
should be very careful as to what we see in here, gentlemen.
I think Pierre has his notebook out. Say, what is it?
all right. You, mercenary captain, whose name I have written down and definitely know in character.
Bryn.
Are you bringing Bryn with us?
No, Bryn is going to stay here because people who encounter this stuff go crazy and try to kill everyone around them.
Yes.
Captain Bryn, I want you to set up a defense line facing both directions, into and out of this room.
All right, he starts ordering his men where to go. I mean, he doesn't have any like defensive line to set up as such. He's just, you met a pointing guns at this, you met a pointing guns at this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I think they left some boxes in here, so maybe they'll be able to like sit down and wait, or.
Didn't you take an Aegis defense line that was down here?
Yes, I almost said stole. What I meant to say was I reacquired it for ship security purposes.
Salvaged.
I did not bring it back because it's mine and I need it and he doesn't.
Okay.
He can use boxes of mining equipment as cover. We're gonna do other stuff.
Do you have it with you?
I don't know how big it is, but I'm assuming the answer is no.
All right. I'm pretty sure it's fairly big.
It's locked in the thrice locked chest of Nero the Blade.
How big is your chest?
Camping footlocker size at the minimum. Apparently now it's at least large enough to carry one Aegis defense line.
I mean, so an Aegis defense line is large concrete plates, about 5.5 feet tall, that have like pivot joints, so they can be sort of like they can be rolled into themselves, but they still probably weigh about 400 pounds per sheet.
All right, so they aren't actually in the chest, but in his closet on the ship, there's like a giant coffin-shaped object where these things are folded like an accordion. And it probably weighs several tons.
You have to take down a sheet at a time.
That's ridiculous. I would just have servitors carry it to the shuttle. I gesture for everyone to approach with me as I keep an eye on the pyramid with both my actual eyes and my Omniscope's thermal sensors, and I push Cade onto the pyramid. Basically, I'm using him as like a swipe card. I'm like, don't worry, Cade, just scream if anything bad happens.
Once Cade gets within about 10 feet of the edge of the pyramid,
ominous humming,
the pyramid wall sort of shimmers and an opening forms, like an archway forms, like just the matter seems to recede back on itself, with a sort of a greenish glow, as a sort of like it's like when you see like little hexagons just sort of like pulling into themselves.
Yes, I've seen anime before. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Until it forms this sort of jagged archway.
All right, I put Kate down.
Okay.
And I go in.
Okay.
Dante. Not Dante. Shoot. Nero. We're on serious. Sorry.
One in the same. One in the same.
I do not think so.
I would suggest having Don go first so you don't get caught up with your heavy bolter.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Thank you. I'd like to think that I'm a good leader.
The one thing you should be aware of, Lord Captain, is I'm training my reflexes so that I can react to any danger from any direction at any time. I'm not quite there yet. I've been having Sargon follow me around and do jump scares.
Well, I shall go ahead then.
The situation.
There's one question I have to ask, Lord Captain. Are we bringing Cade with us? He is the key to this door. I would like to be able to leave, but he is a child that I have responsibility for.
So you can verify that anytime he's within 10 feet of the door opens. If he steps out of that, it closes again.
Cade, sit on the floor here and don't move.
We'll have him wait here in case we need to be able to get inside somewhere with him as another key.
Captain Bryn, if an unending wave of horrifying abominations comes out of that door, drag Cade backwards, please. Why don't we just put a rope around him? Let's just solve that problem real quick. All right, Cade, I want you to do your multiplication tables in the dirt on the floor. Okay?
Okay.
When I come back, I'm going to check your math, and if it's not right, you're going to do 100 laps. If it is right, we will go for whatever the 40K version of ice cream is. I assume it's made out of dead orcs. Something horrifying.
Corpse starch. Frozen corpse starch.
Yeah, corpse starch, of course. All right, so Nero gestures for Dawn to go past him.
Okay.
Is this one of those things where I have to where I can arm myself going forward? Because I think I would.
Yeah, that's fine. You get weapons drawn.
I mean, Nero is walking around with a heavy bolter out, but that's pretty normal for him.
So the chamber on the inside of the pyramid, so it has a floor which is at the same level as the
thank God.
The ground outside. It is square on the inside, although obviously it comes to the pyramidal roof above you. So 3 of the walls, the 2 walls to either side of the doorway have a couple of what appear to be alcoves in them filled with some sort of machinery. So think about like the Borg alcoves from Star Trek, where they're sort of like just, a person could stand up within this, and there's all sorts of like cables and glowing alien machinery and displays flickering with green runes that you don't recognize, but otherwise the alcoves are unoccupied. At the far end of the room appears to be another chamber, which looks to you like some sort of maglev or elevator. Like it's a hexagonal chamber with a doorway and a control surface inside as well. You could probably fit, you would guess, 6 people inside the maglev chamber, and there's 0 chance of getting the Terminator in there. It's just not big enough for the Terminator.
That was to be expected.
What is the Terminator's name again? I actually don't know in character.
Yeah, nor has he told you.
T-1000.
You could ask him if he wants.
I tried having conversation, but
I'm going to turn to him and say,
yeah,
"My lord, might I inquire your designation?"
Leonus.
Leonus, it is clear that you will not be able to travel further with us at your present bulk.
He turns and like it takes up a guard posture toward, like facing towards the way that you came in.
I am filled with great confidence in your ability to act as our rear guard, my lord.
He grunts and checks his storm bolter to make sure it's ready for action.
Nero dreams about the day he'll have a storm bolter, 2 of them mounted on his arms, and then he just marches over to the maglev and checks inside and makes sure there's no Necron beetles waiting.
No, it does appear powered though. So certainly, like the consoles are active, the control surface in here is powered. There is lighting coming from. You're not sure where. All the walls seem to be this sort of black obsidian, like stone material, but there are sort of like veins of light flowing through it as well.
So is the control surface like a ticket booth outside of the maglev, or is it inside the maglev?
It's on the inside.
All right. I'm not going in until Dawn goes in, because we've established Dawn is here to get eaten by beetles.
Well, she has better eyes too.
Yeah. I mean, she can set everything on fire, so.
Main reason why I want her up front is because she has better eyes.
So I'll go forward and get in the maglev then.
Okay. You sort of feel like there's, as you cross the threshold of the maglev, there is this sort of feeling of like the gravitation's just changed slightly, like whether it's it's just gotten slightly harder, like you're in some sort of gravitational field inside the maglev. But it's barely perceptible and it's not uncomfortable. You sense it as you pass over the threshold.
Everything seems okay in here. You're welcome to join me if you like.
I mean, Pierre just goes to that point.
Yep. Nero brings up the rear.
All right, so Srain comes in, and Vitrian comes in, but Srain tells Epictetus and the other Death Watch to remain behind. So unless there's anyone else you want to come, it's going to be the 3 of you plus Srain plus Vitrian.
Who's Vitrian again? Sorry?
The Flesh Terror Death Watch Marine.
He's the guy who just put the purity seal on me. He's he's a Death Watch Space Marine bodyguard for this Inquisitor.
Right, okay.
We've seen him several times. He's cool. And I say that out loud. I'm like, he's cool.
Okay.
All right, so Srain's kind of examining this control surface, just trying to, and it appears to be like some sort of alien touchscreen. What do you make of this, Lord Captain?
Maybe I'm just gonna it takes out like a little monocle and like adjusts it to look at it. I don't know what it looks like.
While they're doing this, Nero goes into a corner and quietly whispers to his gun. And he says, "What do you make of this?"
Do you need me to roll something?
You can give me a Forbidden Law Xeno if you like.
Sure. 21. No, 2.1, not 21. Shoot.
Okay. So from what you can glean, this is not just an up-down elevator. Effectively, the controls seem to allow you to input coordinates, So effectively, it would take you multiple places within the structure.
Final boss room.
You don't really know the layout of the structure as such, nor could you. Yeah, you can work out how to activate. So you recognize this is sort of like this is the go somewhere command. This is sort of like the up, down, left, right. But you're not direct controlling it. You put in a destination and it navigates that destination. You can also record. Yeah, you can identify what is the coordinates of your current location to return to it as well.
Okay, I'll make note of the current coordinates so we can get back here easily later. Yeah. Is there like a log or something that has like certain areas to go to?
You can recall the last destination.
I'll record that and I guess maybe go from there.
Okay.
I believe this is a more of a transport rather than a lift. It can kind of go any direction.
Lord Captain, this is a weird train of thought, but would you find it weird that the locals who enter this place would have to access this device in some way?
It's hard to say if they even make it this far, to be honest.
I mean, normally I assume they'd be eaten by beetles.
Or the whatever thing that we fought before.
I really have no idea what those things are, but
We will.
Is there any way to know how long ago this magnet was activated?
You can't read enough of the console to really be able to tell that.
It's probably also in, some Xeno language.
The more I learn about these Necrons, the less I like them. I will say that much.
Well, there's Xenos.
There's Xenos. Yeah, I feel like everybody in the room, including the Deathwatch and the Xenos Inquisitor, are all just like, yeah, fuck Xenoses, man. We changed from a grimdark fantasy into a comedy where everybody's just like, those Xenos.
Yeah, the laugh track goes off and Kramer slides into the room and...
Did we ever work out where the Wilhelm scheme came from during BattleTech the other day?
I don't know.
Yes.
I assume it was Glimo.
It was Glimo that his phone went off and it was Wilhelm scream.
Okay, nice.
Wow, that is the most nerdiest shit I've ever heard. Having a message tone as a Wilhelm scream. Ugh.
I got a better one for you. When I was a teenager, my cell phone ringing was myself going, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone.
You didn't do the George Costanza message? All right, so, well, I guess without any else, we may as well just try this out.
Do we know coordinates?
Whatever was last used, and obviously the coordinates.
That is a terrible plan, Lord Captain.
Well, we don't have anywhere else to go.
Note the coordinates of where we are first.
Yes, let's do that.
I already did that. I've already done this.
Let's make sure we all know it, just in case you get disemboweled.
Well, I feel like if I get disemboweled to be into the series anyway, so...
I'm still here,
Don't
Lord
worry,
Captain.
Lord
I don't care what happens to you.
Yeah. Listen, you can play your uncle, Lord Captain.
The God Emperor watches over us.
stat,
Don't worry about that.
Just burn a fate point. Obviously, Lord Captain.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share the coordinates for here with everybody, and then press the button to go to last coordinates or whatever.
Okay, no worries. A door sort of materializes in the same way that the other door opened before, so sealing you inside the maglev, and it begins moving. You get the impression it's moving quite fast. There's some sort of inertial dampeners are preventing you from being thrown around as it moves down and across and down again. You can also hear a multitude of sounds outside. It almost feels like rather than moving through a passage, that a passage is opening up to admit the maglev as it moves through. Like it sort of doesn't follow a specific path. It just follows the floor opens up, the walls open up, whatever as it moves through, whatever chambers it goes into and through. After about 60 seconds of movement, it comes to a stop. The door reopens and the power in the maglev goes completely dead. The screen goes blank. You are looking down a corridor. There are multiple fallen suits of marine power armor to the sides of the corridor that have clearly been left there through violence. There are more of these alcoves on the sides of the corridor here, about 6 in total, 3 on each side. And each one is occupied by what appears to be a humanoid figure with metal for skin, almost like it's like some sort of cross between a robot or and a servitor as such. You can sort of make out vague pieces of desiccated flesh in between the armor plates, but otherwise it is entirely robotic, and they just sitting dormantly in these alcoves, along with some sort of pole arm sitting beside them.
So just to be clear, these guys are cosplaying in power armor, marine power armor.
No, so the marine power armor is lying on the ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I understand now.
I thought you were
listen, my level of rage, this is taking it down a notch.
Okay.
Because if they were wearing power armor, I would have just been like, wow, well, listen, there's tech heresy here, but that's super heresy.
What does the power armor look like?
It looks like black
Iron
power armor, Iron Warriors power armor. Yeah. Although, so it's either been shared by power weapons, so you can see multiple power weapon hits, or it's like the armor's been somehow shredded at a molecular level. So it's like half melted, half just like shredded to confetti, where some sort of alien weapons have hit it as well.
I mean, Nero's just going to point all this out and say, look, obviously these things are masters of melee combat. What if we just fire out of the maglev at them and have Dawn stand in the doorway? Or Vitrion with his eviscerator. When they come for us, we just blast them over and over again.
So all the pauldrons look like they're Iron Warrior?
Yes.
Okay. So none of them are Dark Angels.
No.
From what we can see.
Telling you, we need to just all break all the windows on this maglev and start shooting them from right here.
I don't think there is windows.
Nero looks around. Are there windows? I guess I don't have a good idea. When you said maglev, I'm imagining like the ones that take you to Disneyland.
No, sorry. Effectively, it's just an elevator with that runs on magnetic system rather than.
All right. I mean, same plan still, right? Have one person hold the door and everyone else shoot over their shoulder.
Does it look like there's any sort of consoles or anything in this room?
So there are the consoles at the base of each of the alcoves, and the corridors go into another chamber at the far end. But the console inside the maglev is currently dark.
I really think we should kill these things from far away before they walk up to us. They are specialists in slicing open space marines, which is a thing I do not wish to experience.
Yes, I think we should go ahead and attempt to...
All right, when you say that, without any further ado, Nero just leans out the doorway. He taps Q and just starts spraying the whole corridor down with a bolter fire.
All right. So what I'll say, without
oh my god, we're in an enclosed space. It's gonna be so loud.
Is that a Ryan scene?
For the cost of 3 bursts, you can destroy them all.
Yeah.
They once the first one gets hit, they sort of start to wake up and climb out, but they are quite slow, and it's like they're like docile waking up. So they're not able to sort of arm themselves and get out with any degree of acuity, before you fill them full of explosive mass reactive rounds. And yeah. 30 bolt shells later, they all appear to have.
Nero immediately reloads and sticks the 30 clip in the the number 3 spot, so that at the very end of the night, when he's completely out of ammo, he can be like, "I got 30 left, Lord Captain. That's it."
What were they carrying? You said there was some sort of polearm,
pike
some sort of alien polearm. Yeah, that's right.
How big are these polearms?
I mean, these things are human size, so they are, they're able for a human to be used.
Are they powered? Like, are they power sword, power polearm, whatever you call it?
So the blade is some sort of tall edged blade that is made of some sort of green crystalline material that is definitely pulsating with power. And you notice that it has some sort of emitter at the tip on the bottom as well. So it can be wielded as either as a melee weapon or a ranged weapon.
Is it safe to assume that this is what caused the damage on the Space Marine armor?
So it's the blade part, sure. It's possible. Without seeing the gun part of it being fired, you can't really tell.
I'm gonna turn to Dawn and just be like, all right, go out there and make sure they're dead.
I think Pierre's already walking out to investigate.
Like Nero jogs up to make sure. He does that thing where he stands half in front of Pierre to make sure Pierre doesn't get shot.
I think I'd like to pick up one of the stats with me.
Yeah, you can pick up one of them.
Yeah. There's a good chance that one of these things might be what powers devices later. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, and I want to make sure that the point end that looks like it's going to shoot something is not pointed at anybody.
I appreciate that, Lord Captain.
I mean, if you were carrying it like a staff, it'd be pointed to the ground,
that's
basically.
Fair.
So Nero's gonna say
trigger discipline in Warhammer 40K.
Give me plus 10 awareness rolls, please.
Oh boy, this is the thing the whole group excels at. We're very good at them.
Would I get my plus 10?
Oh boy,
foresight?
would I roll a 2?
No, because foresight requires you actually plan
16.
to do something. So
that's fair enough. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to leave it that way.
Unbelievable.
I'm too preoccupied with the
multiple
staff.
people passing this roll.
Yeah, no worries. Let's quickly roll for.
Does it count as a success if you don't get over 1?
No, it doesn't matter because each degree of success just enhances. You know, if it matters. Actually,
okay.
Shrane's got a
cool.
Okay, so all right. So those of you that passed, you can hear the sound of something coming from the far chamber. It sounds like metal on metal, but like very sort of pinpoint, like tap 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 sounds rather than like heavy footprints. It almost reminds you, Nero, of the sound that those little scarabs made, although something bigger than one of those.
Does it remind me at all of the weird flesh horror that we fought?
No.
Okay.
No. It's more robotic, and it's some sort of regular stride of something.
I'm gonna quietly say in Rogue Trader Camp to Dawn, something's coming.
Yeah, be sure to shoot on sight.
I'm gonna make Imperial Guard gestures towards the Inquisitor and Vitrian to let them know something's coming. Okay. I assume that they both receive basic, high school level education in Imperial Guard.
Yeah, so Vitrian's drawn he's got his bolter up at the moment, and the Inquisitor has his plasma pistol out. Some sort of construct turns around the corner into the chamber. It looks rather like, if I can show you, can you guys see that on roll 20?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, so some sort of like tripedal robot. It's only about 4 foot tall. You can't make out any
stingray
sort of
with legs.
Yeah, any sort of weapons on it. Its emitter eye is currently glowing green, not purple like shown in that picture. And it's just turned into the corridor from the far chamber.
It looks like it's about to ask me if I'm still there, like the little robots from Portal.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still there?
Ow, 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 ow. Can you shoot it?
I don't know. Pierre did just give him orders to shoot stuff, so I guess I just start shooting.
Okay.
Right? Am I wrong that Pierre literally just said kill things?
He said shoot on sight. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Nero presses the trigger and is also firing his lasgun on his shoulder.
Okay. No worries. 10 more bolt rounds come out. And this thing is blasted into robot hell. The last thing you see is it sort of collapses to the ground, is the little green light on its head goes yellow and then fades out. And there's some sort of like verbal so you hear like an announcement across some sort of hidden Vox system in an alien language.
Greetings, visitors. Welcome to the Pharaoh Funhouse.
Yeah, some sort of announcement.
I think it's safe to say that they know we're here.
Indeed.
So, Cassie's like, I don't speak whatever that was, but to me, it seems like some kind of alarm.
Yep.
That's a good assumption. So we best be on our toes then.
Nero's gonna lean into the Lord Captain again, and in quiet rogue traders can't say, am I destroying this xenotech, or are we going to bring it back and sell it to somebody? Speaking to you quietly in Cant because there's a Xenos Inquisitor here who might not take too kindly to that plan, but it's your prerogative to do these things out here anyway. You know, trying to stay on his good side. I just want to know if I should be snapping these things in half by stepping on them or shooting them, or... He's gesturing to like the pole arms everywhere, all the xenotech.
I think salvaging this tech for later is more so after the battle, not in the situation.
But you don't want me to destroy it now, then?
Do your best to leave as big as chunks as possible.
All right, yeah. So, I mean, Nero's not going to break everything in sight, and he's going to gesture for Dawn in hand command language to let's advance towards the doorway where we just shot this small sentry bot.
Okay. So Dawn will move up. Like, she's unconcerned right now. I mean, like, so far it's pretty much just like, yeah, everything's going according to plan.
Nero is at highest level of anxiety. Multiple unknown Xenos have had to be shot in a very short amount of time.
So her habit isn't even come off yet. You know, that's how that's how unconcerned she is. So.
All right. So you get to the doorway to the next chamber. It's a much larger chamber beyond. So it appears to be some sort of central hallway. There are various console systems. There are more alcoves here with more of those things sitting in them as well. There are also more of those drone-like devices that are sort of like wandering around working on things. You do notice now that they all have yellow lights for their optical sensor. The room is split by a crack in the floor, which is probably about 9 feet across. Like, imagine like an earthquake might create. So a section of the floor is broken, and there's this sort of chasm that cuts across the room.
So it's not intentional then?
No, it's more like just, you know, seismic activities damage the area has been repaired. Although, like, these little drones, some of them are like occasionally walking over and like welding stone bits on to try and repair the floor. There are multiple other exits from the room, so probably about 6 other doorways that leave this room. So all sorts of electronic devices in here, none of which you can determine the real purpose of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, Dawn will just continue walking in, I guess.
I mean, Nero's going to be like, stop. And Nero's plan is to assign each member of this fire team a different suit person or robot to shoot, and then we all shoot them at the same time, right? You know, like take everything out.
There are about 18 of the guys in alcoves.
Okay, that's really bad.
And probably about 7 of these drones wandering around.
Let's focus on the guys first and worry about the drones.
And Nero disagrees and says, we don't know what these drones can do. We haven't seen their combat capabilities at all. I believe that we could easily clean up on the drones and then focus on taking out the suits.
Very well. You are the security. I'll trust your judgment on this.
Turn to Vitrian and the Inquisitor and, you know, confirm the plan with everybody and then give a countdown for when we're about to start shooting everything in the room, starting with all the drones.
And, Mr. Security, what would you prefer that I would do?
Do you not have a ranged weapon?
It's got a flamethrower.
which is 10 feet.
I say
10 meters.
Personal security. Intercept anything that comes towards us. I assume someone will successfully wake up. Probably a dozen or so someone's.
All right.
Okay, so the plan is to target the drones first?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. The drones are on an active alert now, so I will need you to roll initiative to see whether, because they have a good awareness, so whether they spot you before you start shooting or whether you start shooting before they spot you. So could I get everyone please to give me a initiative roll?
It's D10 plus our agility.
Yep, agility bonus.
Perfect.
I've got a
wow. It happened. Finally happened.
Okay. Got that.
7.
Nero, Pierre, Shrain, Dawn, Vitrion, and drones on pariahs. I should probably point out below these robots too, not the drones but the robots, just give you the heebie-jeebies. The
unnaturalness
or whatever.
Yeah, there's something uncomfortable about being near them, basically.
Yeah. Like standing near a Sith Lord. Yeah, I understand.
Is it demonic?
No, it's more like being near Cade.
Yes.
Yeah, that's making fun.
Oh, like a zero thing?
No,
Or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need to roll. So it's Shrain, Vitrion, the drones, and the pariahs.
Not last. Feels good.
Okay, so Shrain has 8. Vitrion has 15.
I'm just excited if we have a combat screen. Or if we're just
Sorry?
tricking. I don't. Do we have a combat map?
No, at this point in time, sorry, I'm running it by Theory of the Mind. I hope that's not going to be an issue for you.
No, it's perfectly fine.
Okay, cool. So we're starting off with Vitrion and Nero will get to shoot first. So I'd say that there will be 2 drones, Nero, that are within close enough range that you can spread your shots between them.
That was what I was going to ask. Yep.
Oh, I am last. I take it back.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because that didn't include their bonuses. All right, so
think of yourself as going first next round.
Yeah.
Oh, when you put it like that, it's
I know.
so much better.
Okay.
So give me a shot.
Let's see here. Firing heavy bolter. I can aim for +10 and +20 for automatic, +10 for being an Arch-Militant with this, so it's +40.
Yeah.
I just realized I have so many more skills than you do.
Because you can double aim too, because you had the full thing, so you can actually do a full round action aim. So it gives you +20, so you're at +50 total.
With automatic fire, I can do a. I thought half action aim gave you a +10.
Yeah, but you can full action aim the round before you start shooting.
Oh, okay. Well, then I got 5.9 degrees of success.
Yep. Okay. All right. So that is enough to get. So you can divide those 6 shots between the 2 drones.
Yeah, let's say 3 and 3.
Yep. Roll me some damage. Okay. So first 3, the first drone.
Slowly.
Okay. Great. So it's taking off a whole 5 of each of these.
How does your guns work in terms of ammunition, Arthur? Like that's never really been.
So my clip size is currently incorrect. It's dividing in a very weird way, but it comes with 60 rounds and it fires 10 at a time. So after firing right now, I have 40 in the gun, 60 in the second, and 30 from the first belt I removed and put back in my ammunition pack.
Tactical reload.
Oh, so you do like a burst of 10 bullets?
Yes.
Yeah, he can't with that gun. He can't fire less than 10 bullets at a time. It has no single shot mode.
God.
Yeah, so they are both obliterated. Now I need to test to see whether for each one that's destroyed, there's a 20% chance they escalate their threat level. Okay. So when you destroy the second one, all the drones' lights go to an orange light. Okay.
What were they before? I thought they were orange.
It was green when you before you destroyed the first one, then it went to yellow, and now after the second one here dies, they go to an orange light.
Oh, okay.
I feel like if I knew a lot about Warhammer 40K lore, I would be really alarmed right now. But I don't, so I just think that it's a stupid light show Necrons put on because they're dumb.
Yep. Okay, so then Vitrion gets to shoot as well. So he is bursting with his bolter. So he is under 85.
Is the Astartes bolt gun just a regular heavy bolter for a person?
No. Okay, so he hits with all.
I think it's a crit.
Well, the crit's done damage, and he actually has one fate point, so he can actually get Emperor's Wrath. So he will split them 2 shots to one drone and 1 shot to another. So now, will this work? I'm having problems with metering sheets. Okay, that worked. So the first drone, and then on the second drone, you can't get Emperor's Wrath, so. Which he succeeds, so another D10 damage. Okay, so they are both destroyed. So that's 4 drones down so far, and I've got to test to see if that escalates the threat level again. No, they're all still orange threat level. Okay, so now it's the drones, and there are only 2 drones left. So one will take a shot at Nero, and one will take a shot at Vitrion, since you're the one that started firing. So effectively, what happens is their little light in the middle of their head emits an energy blast, which comes out effectively like a plasma from a plasma gun.
Oh.
So this is against Nero, is a miss, and against Vitrion is a miss. So it just hits the wall near you and sizzles into the black stone.
You have a reflector, right, Arthur, now? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Refractor. Well, he's got a refractor field, yeah. You've got a conversion field, he's got a refractor field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the things in the alcoves basically spend this turn getting out of the alcoves and arming themselves with their weapons.
How many of them are there?
18. So, and I'd say that probably 7 of them are on the far side of the chasm, so out of melee range.
How far is far side?
So you're talking about probably 60 feet to the far side of the room, but you've got a 9-foot chasm in the middle. So,
I also have a jump pack, so.
Oh, it's true, you do. So you could clear that with no problem.
Yes, but we need you on point defense here, which is what I asked you to do.
Okay, Pierre. There are 2 drones left and 18 robots.
I only have pistols.
The drones.
I can technically do 2 shots, correct?
Semi-automatic fire? Yes.
Each shot is
half action.
Half an action.
You can't fire the same gun twice. You can fire.
Okay.
Yeah, you can fire 2 different guns in different hands.
Bolter cane.
How close? I mean, I have many pistols. Actually, it's not.
All right, McCree.
It's not even okay. How close are each?
More like Reaper, Arthur. He fires a gun and
that's
throws
true.
it away.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
So the closest robot is probably about 10 meters from you. The closest drone is about 15 meters from you.
Well, that rolls out the Inferno pistol on that one. Use the plasma on one, and then I do have quick draw, so
yeah. And you can always drop them as a free action, so you can draw, fire, drop, you know.
Yeah. Just had to pick it back up.
20 minutes of like reloading single shot pistols after the battle, picking them up off the floor.
I used plasma on one and then the bolter cane on another. So.
Okay.
So the first one will be plasma.
This is a drone, yep.
Yep. I'll re-roll that. Why not? There we go. So
okay.
3.
It's a hit. All right, roll damage for that one.
It's pin 6.
Okay. All right, so it is down to 4 wounds remaining. It is damaged but not destroyed.
Okay, that's unfortunate. I guess I'll finish it off with the Bolt King. Because why not? Bolt King. Nope, not meant to be.
What is your ballistic skill at now, Pondo?
50.
Huh.
I'm just rolling really, really badly. Actually, that's a 98. That's not good. There's just jams, but I only have one shot, so it doesn't matter.
A single shell just like stuck in the top.
It's the first time you fired it and it fails. Nice.
Like legitimately fired it, yeah. All right.
Okay. Shrain, he's going to take a shot at one of the pariahs only because it's closer. So he's more afraid of it than he is of him. He's got a fantastic weapon skill of 30. Well, he's aiming at least.
Oh, so he's worse than me. Got it.
Oh, less than 40 should be. He actually did hit. Nice. So do his damage. 12 damage, pens 6 on a pariah.
0 damage. It reflects it all back at him using quantum reflection.
No, it does. It does take 4 wounds, but that doesn't look like it hurts it substantially.
Perfect. This is gonna be a long fight.
Look, Shrain's not exactly a great combatant. Dawn.
Is there anything within 10 meters of me?
Yep, there is a pariah. The one that Shrain just shot.
Okay, I will. I guess charge up to it and just slice it in half if I can.
Yep. Okay.
So charge gives me.
Do you Mass Effect Andromeda, where every time you run, you get a little burst of speed from your jetpack? Every time your foot's on the ground, point of contact.
Yeah, a little, I guess. I mean, that's cool. That's a cool way of doing it, right? I guess.
Plus 10 for charging.
I was gonna say draw cut, right? Using the jetpack to help you rotate. Look, I'm just trying to make an anime.
It's been a while since I've done this, so I have a balance, so that's plus 10 for the burning blade, right? So I'm rolling at plus 20, and is that it?
So balance doesn't actually add to the attack roll. Balance adds to parrying.
Okay, I've just got here next to special rules. I got plus 10 hit. So
yeah, that's because it's best quality. Best quality.
Oh, quality, right? Okay.
That's right. Yep.
So
you're at plus 20.
Okay. Yeah. I will re-roll that. That's a 95.
Okay.
I think I can live with that. That'll do.
There you go. Nice hit. Okay. He's got a dodge of 11. It's not going to try and dodge. It's too slow. Okay, roll me some damage.
8, 12, and that's pen 4.
Okay, so you hit it in the leg. So that does 4 more damage to it.
Sweet. Also, it needs to like.
That's right. Test will be on
test?
fire. That's right. Yeah. Oh, it's got a fantastic agility of 22. No, it failed with a roll of 91. So it is on fire.
Twice, actually, with that much failure.
Is there a way that I can like move back after I attack it, or
no? There are talents which let you move, attack, move, but you can either move, attack, or attack, move normally.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, back to Nero.
Wow. That was a fast round. Vitrian shot with me. I suppose that's true. Yeah. So are all of the drones dead, or there's 2 of them remaining?
There's 2 left, one of which is damaged.
Are they close to each other?
No, those 2 are not.
Is there anything close to one of the drones so that I could hit 2 things at once?
Sure, I'll take a drone and a pariah.
Perfect.
So the pariahs are the humanoid thing,
robot
right?
men with the staffs.
You also have your extra shot from your.
Oh, I forgot to do that last round. You're absolutely right. All right, so I'm shooting at whichever one will allow me to shoot multiple things at first. Okay. And I'll figure out the extra shot later. Thank you for reminding me. I went through a lot of trouble to get that thing. Now I only have plus 10 for aiming, but 3.6 degrees of success.
Yep, no worries. So that'll give you 4 hits. So
4 hits.
2 of the drone, 2 of the pariah.
Yeah, I don't know how tough either of these things are yet.
Okay, so that definitely destroys the drone. So I'll test to see if that raises their threat level. It does not. So there's one drone left now, and then on the pariah, that will do. What's the penetration? Sorry, the weapon again?
5.
5. Okay, so
I
taking 11
forgot
off
to
each
tell
of
somebody
those.
to do better.
So 2 plus 9 plus 9 is 21, which is just enough to kill the pariah outright.
Okay, and I'm going to fire my hell gun at the other drone.
Okay.
Shoulder-mounted hell gun. Okay, I can't fire it in semi-automatic, so no bonus. The omniscope doesn't give me a bonus, and I can't aim, so I think I just fire it normally. Yep. And I hit.
Yep. It wasn't bursting, was it?
No, I can only fire a single shot.
That's right, yep. Okay, cool. So it's a drone. Roll damage.
Wow. Perfect.
20 pin 7. That is enough to destroy the last drone.
All right.
It's still test to see if there's
Emperor's Fury.
Escalates only because for future drones. No. Okay, so they are still at orange level.
Nice. So Nero's literally just, he is Groot and Rocket Raccoon at the same time. Ah! Killing 3 things in the same turn. And then he passes his turn to Vitrion.
So effectively, just so you know, they have 4 levels of threat. So at the green level, they are non-violent. Yellow level, they fire as a las gun. Orange level, they fire as a plasma gun. And red level, they fire as a melter gun.
Are these things the swarms of beetles that try to eat and murder me? Okay, all right.
No, these are bigger than the beetles, and they seem to be a different sort of technology as well.
All right, then I'm not as afraid of them as I am of the beetles. That's some real shit right there. They ate my arm.
Yes. Okay, so Vitrion now. He is going to charge at the pariah that Dawn is fighting as well, to try and help you out. Actually, you know what? He'll probably charge a different pariah because Dawn looks like she can handle herself. Okay. So
he would have seen a very angry hospital if he tried to do that.
Yeah, wow, I can't believe he missed. All right, so this thing somehow manages to deftly parry away his eviscerator strike with his poor roll of 77 and 75.
The eviscerator, you kind of have to like telegraph your move, so it's kind of
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty.
It's a giant chainsword essentially.
Yep. All right. The drones are all dead. It's going to take them out now. Okay, so the pariahs. So we'll do the one at that you're fighting first.
Does
Dave.
the flame hit after or before the attack?
It's at the start of its turn. It takes D10 damage. It makes no attempt to put itself out.
Cool.
Well, it's robot. I shouldn't worry about that.
Okay, so it takes 5 more damage. All right. Then it attempts to stab you with its war scythe.
I will parry.
Well, wait to see if it hits you first.
Oh, okay. Actually, my dodge is quite high now. Higher than my weapon skill now, so.
That is a miss. Okay. Other one at Vitrion. Okay, also misses with a roll of 100.
It's still trying to block the eviscerator.
Yep. Okay.
It's like that. It's like that. What was it? The Austin Powers thing where the car is slowly moving towards him and he's screaming.
That's right. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
Is there any more pariahs that's moving?
Yeah. So someone trying to say something. Okay. So 8 more of them are currently moving. They spend their turn basically moving towards melee range, and the other 6 of them are shooting the flayer part of their gun. So I'll put 1 shot into each person.
The flavor side of the gun.
Sorry.
Nothing. I was making a dumb joke. Don't worry about it.
No worries. So yeah, so flavor. Thank you very much.
There's only 5 of us though, right?
There's only 5 of you. So second shot will go into Vitrion. He seems to be the biggest threat. So it's got
Really?
double
I
check.
literally destroyed 3 things, and
Okay,
Victory
fine,
did nothing
you-
left.
Okay, you get 2 shots. No worries.
Perfect.
Dear GM,
You've convinced
just
me.
fuck my shit up, please. Like, just.
Okay,
I know
so-
there's like an expendable NPC here, but come on, shoot me.
Okay, so first one at Pierre will be
You could not.
Don't die.
is a hit with 2.9 degrees cis if you want to try and dodge.
The answer is yes.
You better
Harry it
roll
with one of your
real
pistols.
low.
And pray that I get it. Oh, I'll spend a fate point to attempt to do it.
That was how
What
the
is
Lord
what is your
Captain died.
agility at?
45.
I'm curious.
That's not
45?
bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No, okay. I'll take the hit.
Okay, no worries. So it Righteous Fury's on a 9 or a 10. So I got to watch what the actual dice roll is.
That doesn't sound good for me.
Okay, so it was not a 9, it was an 8. So that is 16 pen 5, hitting you in the head. 11.
Oh.
Oh no, sorry, no, 11. No, it's 10. Sorry, no, 11. Sorry, use your right arm.
Oh, okay. That's much better.
Didn't
than my
you?
head.
Yeah.
Didn't you borrow a refractor or something like that?
I don't
in the
think I
last
ever got
episode?
It.
No.
I was making claim to, but I don't think I have it.
Uh-huh.
It is what it is. I'm wearing power armor, so it takes 5 of that. So it's 2 plus 4, so 6. So I take 10 to the arm.
Yep.
Head.
No, I was
It's
arm. Yeah, it was 11.
Oh, okay.
So I take 10 wounds.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, first
No,
one.
my shooting arm.
First one at Nero.
I'm ambidextrous. I'm fine. I'm just gravely
Missed.
wounded.
Second one at Nero. Also a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, one at Dawn. He's got a penalty for shooting into melee combat. Is a miss, only because he's shooting melee combat. One shooting at Vitrion is a miss, and one shooting at Shrain is a hit. Shrain will attempt to dodge that because it's only a 1 degree of success.
I figure you tried to dodge it in the first place.
So with dodge, you have to roll higher than the attack roll.
You have to roll more
yeah.
degrees of success than the attack roll.
Yeah, he beat the attack roll, so he does manage to dodge out of the way.
That's
Okay.
incredible. Last time he failed to dodge out of the way, I got teleported.
Pierre.
Do I take a negative now that I'm like 3 out of 13?
No, because you're not taking critical wounds yet. It's not that doesn't work that way. In it just means it's harder to heal you. That's all.
Oh, okay.
There's no wound penalties, so you take critical wounds in this system.
You're
That
heavily
sounds
wounded.
good. All right. Before I forget, I'm going to tell Dante to shoot better.
Name's not Dante.
There's no Dante
Not
here.
Dante, but
Yeah,
Nero.
unless you're referring to the Captain of the Blood Angels chapter.
Yeah.
Well, we have a flesh terror here, so
Nero to shoot better, so he gets plus 10 going for his next shooting. Then I'm going to, I guess, take aim and shoot at one of. Is there an already damaged pariah that's not in combat?
Not in. There's none that are not in combat.
Wasn't there one that Shrain shot, or is it already dead?
That's
that
the one
was
that I hit.
that she
Okay.
charged. Yeah.
Then I'll shoot another pariah and
No
hope
worries.
for the best. So I should be doing at 60 with plasma. Hey,
a hit.
Ooh.
Okay, you can't dodge it even if you tried. So roll your damage.
that's good.
Hey.
15 with 6 pen.
Nice. Okay, so that'll be 7 damage through on that one. Okay.
Take that. Oh, my arm.
The searing pain.
Okay.
Know when you're hurt. Yeah.
All right. Shrain will also attempt to shoot the one you just shot. He's a dirty kill stealer.
If he can shoot, this shot.
He does seem like a dirty kill stealer, doesn't he?
He missed. Okay. Dawn. You're melee combat
All right.
with this flaming robot.
Yes, I am. I will strike down with a fury unknown to most human beings. How dare
Just
you?
in furious anger.
Yeah, unknown to
Yes.
life nor known to death. Yeah.
Okay, so explain to me how I enter fury frenzy. Sorry.
You say I'm entering a frenzy, and you get the bonus. And once the frenzy ends, you take some fatigue.
Doesn't it take a full round of doing nothing but entering the frenzy? Am I wrong about
That's a
that?
good question.
No, you're not wrong. That's why I was asking, because
Yeah, you literally have to just stand there and get wrecked for a whole round.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a
I'll
ton of
check that.
people to fight, so conceivably it will pay off over time, but the immediate problem is that it'll suck. Yeah, you have
And
to
also,
spend you have to spend a full round fueling your anger, so.
Oh, okay. No, so usually it's something you do before you actually go into combat. Then you.
Yeah.
There
so I
are
guess-
drugs that you can take that will put you in immediate frenzy.
Well, I was going to maybe I should look into that, but probably something to do with the flower or whatever from the abbey.
Yeah, the
potentially.
ghost fire pollen. Yeah.
Yeah. But for the time being, I think I'll just because I think I need to, like, now that I've seen the Lord Captain get
Absolutely shredded.
blasted
Yeah.
from the pasted, I think I'll have to remain.
Gotta send them back
you
to
know,
the future, you know?
Yeah. So this is just at a +10, right? Because I don't have my charge bonus.
That's right. Yep.
2.5.
That's it. He's not going to dodge or parry. So, actually, he'll try and parry. Sorry, with the wall side because that uses his weapon skill
Alright.
rather than his
Now, is this something that if Dawn wins with her power weapon, she just breaks through it and snaps it in
No,
half?
his thing counts as a power weapon as well. So,
Fuck you guys.
Okay.
The last fight.
Necrons
Yeah.
are bullshit.
yeah. Okay. So, no, he fails to parry it. It goes through. So, roll your damage.
It's like getting a perfect guard break, right? You know what I'm talking about. Now, is he double on
okay.
fire?
We can't give you any more on fire than you is. And what's that? Your pen, sorry, was
Pen 4.
I beg to differ.
So it
So
takes-
I.
2 more damage. He's burning still, but he's not down yet.
Is there any within 10 meters of me right now
Another one, yes.
that is not in combat with someone else?
Yes.
Then I will use offhand hand flamer to set him alight.
Okay.
Can
yeah.
please?
No worries.
If I remember correctly, there's no penalty because I don't roll.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you take the maximum penalty and don't roll a dice anyway. So that one attempts to dodge or attempts to avoid. No, it's been set on fire. Roll the damage.
It also gets a -10 because of my.
Okay. So I need to roll under 12 then.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
Sure. Hand flame is 1d10 plus 4, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Has it got a pen?
Whoosh. 2.
2. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to damage it. Okay. So that one takes 2 damage, but it will now also the test will be on fire. At least the place is well lit now.
Yeah.
Nope, he's on fire too.
Hell yeah.
All right. That's the end of that round. Now's probably a good time for a break, I think.
It is. It is indeed a good time for the break. Shit's getting real. Largest combat we've really seen so far. Lord Captain heavily damaged. Will we survive?
I'm fine.
Will Shrain be set on fire? I think I'm going to put high odds on Shrain just falling over and collapsing. I don't have
That'll be
any
fine.
specific reasoning. I just feel like it's going to happen. We'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Stick around.